elsewhere in the workforce. And so that is significant. There's a social enterprise strategy that was presented to the provincial government under the former government. It's never been implemented, and we would see it implemented. So we've got to remove the yoke of poverty from New Brunswick. That's what a Green government would do. Our future depends on it. Fundamentally, the basic income guarantee is the cornerstone of removing the yoke of poverty from New Brunswickers and from New Brunswick. And that's our priority as our Green government, and that's our priority going forward, to ensure that this central tenet of combating poverty is implemented, so that we achieve that in New Brunswick and we become a role model for the rest of Canada. So just like Tommy Douglas rolled out Medicare in Saskatchewan, and that ended up being implemented across Canada to ensure people had access to health care that didn't cost them. We will roll out a basic income guarantee in New Brunswick, ensure that people can climb out of poverty, and I am sure that will roll out across Canada and become commonplace in every province in this country after we achieve this successfully in New Brunswick. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
He's going to be sharing his footage with Radcan. Do you want to, is there anything kind of in summation? I know you have a current over there.
I can do it, right?
Yeah. Perfect. That's what we'll do then. Okay. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So don't go anywhere. We'll let David scrum and then we'll do a quick photo. How about that?
I'm interested in social.
Thank you for doing it.
Oh, you're very interested. I do. What? How did you?
Yeah, so, well, they asked me yesterday, they said, because Radcan couldn't come, but they said, and it's good you had some French clips in there, but I was wondering if there was anything you wanted to say specifically that was related. That way you had some coverage. All right, whenever you're ready. You can talk to me here that way.
Yeah, that's good.
Have you got one of your colleagues that can come right over here?
Yeah.
Someone for you to
Abby.
look at that way. It's not. There we go. So
Stand
you
there.
could look to her.
All right.
In that way.
Good. That's it right there. That's good. Un gouvernement vert va établir une revenu de basse garantie pour la pauvreté au Nouveau-Brunswick. C'est essentiel d'avoir un revenu de basse garantie d'aider les personnes qui vivent en pauvreté au Nouveau-Brunswick. Pour nous, c'est la réponse de le grand défi de pauvreté dans nos provinces. Une pauvreté qui c'est un grand coût pour notre société. Les milliards de dollars, bien sûr, c'est un grand défi pour chaque personne qui vit en pauvreté. Pour nous, c'est le voie qui va aider les personnes qui vivent en pauvreté maintenant. C'est essentiel. C'est une modalité qui est très avant-garde au Nouveau-Brunswick et au Canada, mais c'est important que nous lancerons un en revenu de basse qualité ici au Nouveau-Brunswick maintenant après l'élection.
Okay, enough of that. Social media, justice system, legal aid. How do you plan to legal aid? How do you plan to? You mentioned that in your speech. That's good.
So legal aid is miserable in New Brunswick. It covers so little of the legal needs that people have, and that's not common in other parts of Canada or other parts of the Maritimes. So let's just pick the Maritimes because all our provinces are similar in the Maritimes. And so PEI and Nova Scotia and Newfoundland cover way more legal needs in their provinces.
Like what?
Family law, for example, is one good example.
Family court, okay.
Yeah, family court. But there's a whole long list of legal assistance that's available in our sister maritime provinces in Newfoundland, which is not available in New Brunswick, and that is helping keep people poor in a way, and certainly resulting in unjust decisions in the courts.
And they charge somebody with a summary. That means you don't have the right to a lawyer.
Because
You think that's right?
just a second, let me finish.
I let you finish. I mean, I can't let this go on for 10 minutes here. Come on, go ahead.
Well, it's just so important for our justice system to be just and to actually work for people who live in poverty or people who just are living on modest incomes. Then we need to have a legal aid system that will support people's court case to ensure people have a fair day in court. Right now our legal system really only serves fairly those people with the means,
Money.
the financial means to afford good legal help. And so that means justice is not blind. That means justice is wearing an eye patch.
Do you
Right?
think a person dies behind bars, there should be an inquest?
Every time.
But there's none.
There should be an inquest every time someone dies behind
But they
bars.
don't do
There's no
they don't do it.
question. So in New Brunswick, unlike some other provinces, we rarely use the tool of an inquest
Coroner.
to identify, to investigate what's happened when someone dies for unknown reasons, and we need to use that tool far more regularly. Because how are we going to get to the bottom of unexplained deaths if we don't do that? So we see how it works in other provinces. The information comes out. It really plays to this obsession that governments have had now for many, many years to build a wall of secrecy around what's going on, and they seem to be unwilling to raise that wall.
Because they don't vote. The poor don't vote, so why should we give it them, right?
So for us, we would pull the curtains off the windows, open the windows and let the air in and show everyone what's going on.
I'll light you. One more question, that's it. How come we don't bring the prisoners back to Fredericton? They just sent them to Mesdames et Messieurs, send them to St. John. They don't bring them back. They sentence them here. There's no provincial jail here. You think they should bring them back?
Absolutely. I've said that publicly many times and in the legislature. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't understand it. Why we strand people when they're released from provincial jails far from their home with no means to get home. And so it just, that's...
They give them a Google map, but they can't read.
It's unbelievable that we're doing that to people. But in some ways it is believable because of the way generally the system treats people who are vulnerable, who are impoverished, who are on the fringes of society as far as the powers that be.
And you encourage every less fortunate to vote, right?
Well, everyone should vote.